G'day everyone and welcome back to another episode on the podcast. For today's episode, I've been thinking a lot about the kind of idea of pursuing. I recently watched The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, and it really had me thinking a lot about how little people choose to pursue their dream in full commitment. So I guess in the pursuit of anything meaningful, there's going to come in a lot of internal battles and external battles along with that. So for anyone who has seen The Pursuit of Happiness will understand this. In the most part of our life, we aim to make choices that will make us feel happy, excited, fulfilled, and even a sense of achievement. Whether this is choosing to do some sort of charity work or picking a job like a nurse or a physio because you enjoy seeing other people get better and you enjoy helping people. Or even doing things that we look back at and it wasn't the right choice to do, but in the moment, it felt right. This could be choosing to go on a date with that girl or choosing to date that girl who was low-key nuts, but you enjoyed fixing people, but you didn't realize that at the time. Or you go to that festival and you chose to do drugs that night and didn't feel like afterwards you really needed it. But in the moment, you couldn't control yourself and you just chose to do it. With any outcome, there comes a series of decisions that go along with that. That's why in this episode, I want to talk about the lack of pursuit that people have nowadays. A big topic and idea that came to me when I was, doing a little bit of research about this episode was when you have a dream or a dream job or a dream result or end place that you want to be at, and you don't pursue that dream because you're afraid of what other people think or of a certain scenario that could happen that would detriment that dream from coming true, that's an assumption. And this idea, this realization that I had completely comes from this other podcast I was listening to of this guy. It's called The Zerky Show. And it made me realize how much I dislike assumptions about things. And the thing that I hate the most about assumptions is that they are not real. It's a perceived idea that you have caused yourself to believe in your head. It's like if you see an attractive girl walking by you and you think to yourself, fuck, I want to talk to her, but she doesn't look interested. She's on her phone. She's got her AirPods in. She doesn't want to listen to me. She seems busy. When you know she actually isn't. That's an assumption. When I first wanted to start this podcast, like anyone starting some sort of social media or anything that puts them out there and basically puts their heart on their sleeve and lets people know a lot of stuff about them, there are a lot of thoughts in your head that made me think, fuck, are people going to think I'm weird? Or are people just going to think I'm too serious? Or are people just going to think I'm fucking boring? So, anything like that. Those are assumptions. When I was starting the podcast, I had so many of those thoughts and I hadn't yet talked to any single person about it. And I eventually talked to 2 or 3 of my really, really close mates at school and I was like, look, I don't know why, but I just really want to start a podcast. I just think that it would be really good for me. It's something for me to pursue, not even for the financial benefit or the clout that might come from it, but more so for me to learn and have some sort of hobby that I can commit to. And they were like, mate, if you enjoy doing a podcast, fucking do it. We don't care. That just goes to show how unrealistic some assumptions actually are. Your thought that everyone's going to judge you, everyone's going to think you're weird, or everyone's going to hate you for doing something that you want to pursue or you want to do to benefit you is an assumption, and it wrecks your whole entire outlook on your dream. I reckon a thing that a lot of people don't realize is that when anything happens, from you going out and getting ridiculously drunk to someone unfortunately passing away, people forget that people pass away. People forget that you were so drunk that one night. People forget that you vomited on the dance floor. People forget that you farted in class. There's so many moments in people's life that little things like that are so insignificant for them to constantly think about. And so that's why when you think about trying something new, people might think about it for a minute. They might talk about it in a conversation for 10 minutes, but then it's completely forgotten for the next couple of years. If you continue to pursue that for the next couple of years, people will forget it. I think when you don't try and do something new, it's purely because of the thought of judgment or the thought of someone thinking about you or thinking poorly about you. But the majority of the time, people have a lot more significant things to worry about in their lives than what you are doing. They've got a job to work at, they've got uni work to do, they've got people that they need to hang out with that they haven't seen in a while, or they've got to walk their dog, or they have some sort of chore to do around the house. Thinking about you want to try roller skating is probably the last thing on their mind. 80 to 90% of people quit their dream to go for a comfortable job. That is a statistic. That is likely what happens, I think, from the US in this statistic. But 80 to 90% of people quit their dream to be comfortable. And I think nowadays a lot of people, this is not even just talking about like a health or like a exercise point of view. People are so afraid of being uncomfortable when it comes to having a pursuit of happiness, purely based off the thought of something potentially happening. Something with no guarantee, something with probably a low percentage of actually occurring, but something that will potentially happen. The thought of something happening scares them off of doing something that they want to do and that they think that they will love. A really easy mindset shift that I developed listening to Alex Hormozi was the quick realization that you are in this little area, which is in a state, which is in a country, which is in a world, and that world expands to the universe and then the multiverse, whatever. You are one little insignificant part of this world. So what you should do should not bother anyone else. You trying to learn how to surf is not going to affect wars. So why is it so caught up in your mind about what other people are going to think about you trying to learn how to surf? If people are worried and judgmental of you learning how to surf, they've got more problems to think about than you. And I think a really big contributor to people not pursuing what they want to do and what they love is, what if it doesn't work out? And then like an easy response is, what if it does? What if you learning how to surf turns into you becoming a professional surfer and earning money from it? What if you learning how to draw can help you start an online social media account that then does portraits of people where you can paint famous people in person and make money from it? And not all of it has to be connected to making money. Sometimes it's just a hobby that helps you take your mind off things that make you worried or stress you out, and it helps you calm down. I think this mindset of people need to be the hardest workers ever, especially with like social media online. You get the bloody David Goggins, Alex Hormozi, Jocko, like all of these mental crazy workaholics telling you to work till you bloody fall apart. I think some people become too harsh on themselves to the short-term results they have. And therefore, they look at the 2 months of work that they've put in and think, oh, I've got nothing going here. I may as well stop. I've been doing this podcast for a little over a year and a half now. I get 6 listens per episode. I get about 200 views on my Insta Reels and my TikToks. But I still don't care because I like doing this. I enjoy editing videos. I enjoy yapping to a camera despite it looking so crazy from a third-person view. This is what I enjoy doing. I like talking about health. I like talking about like mental health and mindset shifts, and I just like yapping to a camera, basically. It gives me something to do. It is a great hobby for me, and it helps me be more confident. It helps me with my conversation skills. And I think people, especially guys, we have to be a provider. We have to be a man. We have to be so manly, and we can't. We think that we can't do any of these, I guess, demasculating, if that's even a word. These demasculating habits that we think are demasculating. We think, oh, I can't learn to play the guitar because I look like a bitch, or if I start trying to like be good at pool, I'm gonna be so shit at the start, and if I start now, I'm just gonna look so shit. When they don't think about, oh, if I do this for a year, I might get a little bit better, or if I do this for 8 months, I might get a little bit better at the guitar. I might be able to play a few songs. We have like this all or nothing kind of mindset, especially men, about focusing on providing in the future. And that's why I think men are so much more likely to get a comfortable job to be able to provide earlier on, instead of pursuing something that they truly enjoy and that brings them happiness. I think we just need to say fuck it more often. I think we just need to try as many things as we can, see if we're shit at it, see if we're good at it, and then figure out what you want to do afterwards. I got asked not that long ago, what do I actually want to do with my life? And for some reason this time when I was asked it, it felt a little bit more in-depth and serious because we're on topic of what we want to do later on. And I still didn't know. I have no idea. I don't know how the podcast will go. I might pop off and become a social media superstar. I might learn to do personal training. I might sell training programs online. I might finish my degree and then go back to uni and do it again, despite me hating it. I don't know what's going to happen. But all I know is that I want to do as many different things as I possibly can to figure out what I want to do. I don't think you can have any sort of judgment or assumption, like I said before, of how shit a job's going to be, how shit a course at uni is going to be, or how shit this hobby might be when you first start it, but you force yourself to do it. I don't have any sort of assumption on anything that's going to happen in the future of my life, but I know I'm going to work hard to it. But I need to experience it to really know what I want to do. I haven't experienced doing in-person personal training. I haven't experienced to a high degree of starting a proper business and selling training programs online. I haven't had any experience of truly committing to the podcast, getting my own podcast studio, having consistent guests on. I constantly devote my time to having episodes by myself because I always have these epiphanies that I can just express and rant about to a camera with no one else home, no one else around, and I don't have to think about it. I'm still yet to experience the higher degrees of so many different things that I want to do, but I know that I'm not going to have any sort of assumption on how shit or how good it's going to be until I actually do it. And so that's why I think we need to say fuck it more often and just do something. Do more spontaneous things. Like, just say yes and also say more no often. More often, sorry. Because you never know where that decision can actually lead you to. And yeah, that really brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode. It was a little bit of a different one. It's more about, I guess, mindset and realizations, I guess, towards life, really. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you guys next week.